Why do dogs tilt their heads when you talk to them? Have you ever said something to your dog and suddenly they do this? Head tilt, then another. Then they stare at you like they're trying to understand every word. Are dogs actually listening to us? Or is something else happening in their brain? The answer is way more fascinating than most people realize. Dog owners all over the world experience this. You say your dog's favorite words: walk, treat, dinner. And suddenly your dog tilts their head like a curious little scientist. Sometimes they even switch directions. Right tilt, back to left again. It's so cute that many people think dogs are simply being adorable on purpose. But the real explanation involves how dogs process sound. So why exactly do dogs tilt their heads when we talk to them? Scientists believe there are three main reasons, and all of them reveal something incredible about how dogs interact with humans. Dogs rely heavily on their hearing to understand the world. Their ears can detect subtle sound differences much better than ours.
When your dog tilts their head, they may be adjusting the angle of their ears to pinpoint where a sound is coming from.
Think of it like adjusting an antenna. By tilting their head, dogs can better focus on certain sounds, especially human voices. This helps them pick out important words, like walk, or the legendary word treat. Here's where things get really interesting. Some dogs can actually learn dozens, even hundreds of words. Research has shown that certain dogs can associate specific words with objects, actions, or routines. So when you speak to your dog, their brain may be actively processing what you said. The head tilt might be a sign of focused attention.
It's similar to how humans sometimes tilt their head when we're trying to understand something better.
Your dog might literally be thinking, "Did my human just say walk?" In some studies, researchers observed that dogs who knew many toy names were much more likely to tilt their heads when hearing a familiar word. This suggests the head tilt may happen when dogs are trying to connect a word with something they recognize. In other words, your dog might actually be thinking about the meaning of what you said, which is pretty amazing.
There's another surprising explanation. Sometimes dogs tilt their heads simply to see your face more clearly. Dogs rely heavily on human facial expressions to understand emotion. But certain dogs, especially those with long snouts, may have part of their view blocked. Tilting their head can shift their perspective so they can better read your eyes and facial signals. Your dog may be thinking, "What exactly is my human trying to communicate?" The head tilt shows how closely dogs pay attention to humans. Over thousands of years, dogs have evolved alongside people. They've become incredibly skilled at reading human behavior. Your voice, your body language, your tone.
So when your dog tilts their head while listening to you, it may be a sign they are fully engaged with you. And honestly, that's pretty special. Of course, sometimes your dog might simply be thinking one thing: are we about to do something fun? Because let's be honest, many conversations with dogs eventually lead to food, walks, playtime. And dogs are very good at predicting those things. Dogs actually have many behaviors that look cute, but are connected to ancient instincts and fascinating brain science.
Like why dogs spin before lying down?
Why dogs lick your face?
Why dogs stare at you while eating?
Once you understand the reasons, your dog suddenly becomes much easier to read. If you enjoy discovering the real science behind dog behavior, subscribe to Why Pets Do That. We explain the strange, funny, and fascinating habits of dogs and cats. And trust me, there are many more mysteries to uncover. Now I'm curious about your dog. Does your dog tilt their head when you talk? Comment below. Yes, all the time, sometimes, never. And what word makes your dog react the most? Walk, treat, dinner? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.